My people, this one we're hearing today is shaking a lot of tables across Nigeria, and it's all centered on the same name that always stirs conversation: Nnamdi Kanu. The headline says it all: Nnamdi Kanu Shock. Chief Judge and Prosecution Lawyers Panic as Sowore leaks secrets that exposed them. Now, when you see a headline like that, you already know the matter is serious. So here's what's happening. You know, Nnamdi Kanu's case has been dragging for years. From the first time he was arrested, to when he was taken back to Nigeria from abroad, to all the back and forth in court. Many Nigerians have been following it because it's not just a legal case. It's political, emotional, and deeply tied to how the country handles justice. But what's making people talk today is this new development involving Omoyele Sowore, that outspoken activist and journalist who's never afraid to speak up. Reports now claim that Sowore has somehow leaked some confidential information, secrets that allegedly exposed some questionable things about the chief judge handling Kanu's case and the team of prosecution lawyers. According to what's circulating, the leak was so revealing that it threw the courtroom into confusion. You could literally feel a tension in the air as people began asking, wait, is this true? Did this really happen behind closed doors? Before I go deeper into what was said to be leaked, let me just quickly say, if you're following this gist and you enjoy getting these kinds of updates straight, real, and honest, please make sure you like this video right now and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our next updates. Because this story is just getting started. Now, back to it. The so-called leak from Sowore reportedly contained details showing that some of the prosecution lawyers might have been communicating in ways that raise questions about fairness in the ongoing case. There were even whispers that the chief judge may have received certain influences that could affect his neutrality in handling the matter. These are heavy claims, and if true, it would mean the entire trial could be called into question. Sowore, being who he is, didn't keep quiet. He came out and hinted that Nigerians deserve to know what's happening behind the scenes. You could tell he was determined to shake the table, and he definitely did. Right after his statement went public, the reaction inside legal and political circles was explosive. Lawyers who were once confident suddenly started acting uneasy, and the courtroom atmosphere changed completely. Now imagine, this is a case that has already been dragging on for years, and just when people thought it was finally heading toward a conclusion, this kind of revelation drops. It's the kind of moment that makes everyone stop and reevaluate everything they thought they knew. Because if the people in charge of justice are being accused of hidden dealings, what happens to public trust? And you know, Nigerians, the moment they smell something like this, social media catches fire. People started commenting, tweeting, and making videos saying things like, so this is why Kanu's case keeps delaying. Others said, maybe this is why he hasn't been released despite all the court rulings. But one thing that's clear is that Sowore is not backing down. He's saying that these documents or pieces of evidence, whatever they are, should be made public so Nigerians can see for themselves. He believes that transparency is the only way forward. Meanwhile, the chief judge and the prosecution lawyers are said to be holding emergency meetings to manage the situation. You can imagine the kind of pressure going on behind the scenes. If you've been following Kanu's story from day one, you'll remember that his legal journey has always had surprises. First, his bail controversies, then his rearrest, then the court rulings that seemed to favor him but somehow didn't lead to his release. Each phase has its own twists. And now, this one, the Sowore leaks. It almost feels like a movie, except this one is real life. At this point, Nigerians are divided. Some are saying, finally, someone is exposing the truth. Others are saying, we need to see evidence first before believing any leaks. But one thing everyone agrees on is that the timing of these revelations couldn't be more critical. With growing pressure on the government to handle Kanu's case justly, this new twist puts even more spotlight on the judiciary. And honestly, you can't help but ask, if Sowore really has proof, how did he get it? Who gave him access? And what will happen next? Will the court address the issue? Or will it be swept under the carpet as usual? Nigerians are watching closely. By the way, if you're still watching this gist up to this point, it means you love staying updated with deep inside news like this. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps more people see this video and join the conversation. Now, according to some insiders who claim to know what's happening around the court, there's panic because the leaked information might point to certain legal irregularities, things that, if proven, could invalidate parts of the trial. And if that happens, it could mean the defense team might call for a full review or even ask for the judge to step aside. That's how big this is. On the other side, those loyal to the government are trying to calm the situation, saying these are just rumors meant to distract from the main issue. But even if they're trying to downplay it, the tension is clear. Each time Kanu's case comes up, there's fresh drama. And this one might be the biggest yet. Some of Kanu's supporters are also using this moment to renew calls for his release. They argue that if the court process is compromised, then justice is no longer justice. They've been sharing videos, organizing peaceful gatherings, and demanding accountability. Sowore's leak has become a rallying point for them, a new symbol of hope that maybe the truth will finally come out. At the same time, many Nigerians are calling for restraint. They say the nation doesn't need another round of confusion or confrontation. What people want now is clarity and fairness. Whether you support Kanu or not, everyone deserves to see justice served transparently. So, after Sowore's leak went public, the courtroom atmosphere reportedly changed completely. Lawyers were seen holding side talks. Security officers were alert, and the judge himself, according to observers, appeared uneasy. Remember, this is a trial that has drawn global attention, so every single move is being watched. From Abuja to London, from local newsrooms to diaspora communities. Now, what exactly did Sowore reveal that caused such panic? From what's been discussed, the leaks allegedly showed private exchanges, documents and conversations suggesting that certain people in authority might have been coordinating on how to handle Kanu's case from behind the scenes. This kind of revelation is serious because it questions the independence of the judiciary. If true, it means some decisions may not have come purely from the law, but from influence or pressure. And that's why Nigerians are talking. Because this isn't just about one man, it's about trust in the system. It's about whether the rule of law still holds weight in the country. Sowore didn't just drop these hints quietly. He reportedly challenged both the court and the prosecution to come clean publicly. He even said, the truth will always come out, no matter how hard people try to hide it. That kind of statement sent shockwaves across media spaces. If you check social platforms right now, you'll see that people are debating. Some say, Sowore is the only one bold enough to speak up. Others say, he's stirring trouble. But no matter the opinion, everyone agrees this leak has turned the case upside down. Now, inside the courtroom, sources say the chief judge had to adjourn the sitting abruptly. There were murmurs everywhere. And one of the prosecution lawyers was reportedly seen leaving the courtroom looking visibly unsettled. You can imagine the kind of tension that moment created. This isn't the first time Sowore has shaken things up. You'll remember during the Your Revolution Now movement, he was also arrested for challenging the government. So his personality alone adds weight to whatever he says. He has that reputation for digging deep into government and judicial matters. And now with this leak connected to Nnamdi Kanu's case, people are taking him even more seriously. But one thing everyone is wondering is this. What does this mean for Kanu himself? Could this be a turning point? Some legal analysts are already saying that if these leaks prove true, Kanu's lawyers might file a motion for mistrial or request a new panel. Because if a judge or prosecution team is compromised, the defense can argue that justice cannot be served under such conditions. While that's being considered, Sowore himself is said to be facing pressure. Some reports say there are attempts to silence him or at least to discredit his claims, but he's not backing down. He insists he has evidence and is ready to make more public if necessary. And that's where the fear really lies. Because if Sowore has more to release, it could mean more embarrassment for those involved. People are already wondering how deep this issue goes and if others in the judiciary might also be exposed. By the way, if you're still watching up to this point, you're definitely someone who likes getting the full gist without sugarcoating. So please, like this video right now, and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. That's the only way you'll keep getting updates like this the moment they happen. Now, one of the shocking things that came out after Sowore's revelation was a statement from one of Kanu's close allies. He said, and I quote, "We have always known that certain forces were working against justice. Now, the truth is finally surfacing." That statement went viral almost instantly. It gave many Nigerians the feeling that maybe, just maybe, this case has always had hidden influences. There are also reports that some human rights organizations are now calling for an independent investigation into these allegations. They believe that if the judiciary is under any form of influence, then justice must be rescued before it collapses completely. Some are even calling on President Bola Tinubu to personally step in and ensure the process is fair and transparent. Meanwhile, within the legal community, some judges and lawyers are quietly worried. They know that if the public loses faith in the judiciary, the entire system suffers. The leak from Sowore, even if not fully confirmed yet, has already shaken confidence. Everyone is now being more cautious about what they say and do. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sowore isn't doing this alone. He's been meeting with some key political figures, including former President Goodluck Jonathan and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, asking them to intervene in Kanu's case. According to reports, both men have agreed to speak with the president about finding a peaceful and lawful resolution. That alone is huge. It shows that the matter is no longer just a court issue. It's now political at the highest level. So what we are witnessing now is a mixture of activism, politics, and legal drama, all unfolding at the same time. And for the first time in years, many Nigerians are hopeful that maybe this case will finally get the attention and fairness it deserves. But of course, there's still tension. Those accused of being exposed by the leaks are reportedly planning their own public response. Some of them might come out to deny everything. Others might try to shift the focus away from the content of the leak and onto the way it was obtained. That's another strategy, to question how Sowore got his information. If that happens, we might see a whole new chapter open, a battle of credibility. Who's telling the truth? Is Sowore really exposing corruption, or is this just another political tactic? These are the questions people are now asking. One thing is certain though, the Nigerian public is watching closely, and everyone wants to know how this ends. Because if this leak is ignored, it will confirm what many have feared for years, that some people are above accountability. But if it's properly investigated, it could mark the beginning of serious reform in the justice system. And that's why, for Nnamdi Kanu's supporters, this moment feels like hope. For them, Sowore's revelation is proof that the leader's case has not been handled fairly, and that maybe freedom could finally be possible. Let me pause here again before we continue, because there's still a lot more to unpack, including what could happen next in this case, and what Sowore might be planning as his next move.